Hey guys, so I am going to share an updated video on growing these culantro. I still get a lot of questions about it and a lot of comments about it, so I just wanted to quickly go through some of the things I've learned growing these through the years now, the couple of years that I've been growing it. As you can see, I have a beautiful collection here, and I am just unbelievably just blessed and thankful for it. Now, first off, where you can get it, I've addressed most of these things in the last video, which I will link below, but you can get these plants at the farmer's market. That's where I get most of my plants. All of these in these two brown trays here. So this is just like a quick update. These were the seeds from Amazon, and I have some massive leaves growing in here. It's growing in these containers, and this was the seeds from Amazon. So they took about 4 months to germinate. However, they did germinate and they did well. I do have some little weeds growing in there. They look pretty to me, so I leave them. If they get out of control, I pick them up because I don't want them just taking all of the food and nutrients out of the soil. So that's a quick update. Definitely those seeds from Amazon, even though at first they did not do well, they definitely have grown a lot. Another thing is they are in a little bit of sun right now. In just an hour or so, this area is going to get shaded over. It's still pretty early, so the sun is not at its hottest. Again, these plants love shade, so keep them in shade as much as possible. I do have another one here that again, this one, I'm not sure what happened with this one, so I kept it away from my other plants just because I didn't want to, if it had a disease or something, I didn't want it to get on my others. But this one is kept in shade. Typically I would have them all here, but they're really close to the pool and the salt water could get on it. So I don't want that. Keep them in shade. They do need some sunlight. They're a plant, they need some of that sun. However, most of the day they should be in the shade, especially in the hottest part of the day, because they will start to bolt. Alright, so I have let a couple of these plants bolt and go to seed. They're still producing some leaves, as you can see, but eventually it's going to use most of its life to producing seeds, which is why I recommend actually having several plants so that you can get seeds later on. That way you can just preserve your own seeds. You can see the bolt in the middle there is turning, it's starting to flower. So you can see the little flowers in there. This is what you're looking for getting seeds. Now, if you just have a bolt come up new, such as this little one here in the center, it's a little tiny green bulb. You're really not going to get any seeds from that. You want to wait until it starts to flower like that, and then eventually these flowers will become brown, and then you can, when it dries out, that's when your seeds are ready for picking. So I'm just going to leave this, let it go a little bit. You can see right here, this is not 100% ready, because if I can get this to focus, which it doesn't look like it wants to. Okay, those are still nice and green and white, and these are a little bit more on the brown side. I'm going to wait a little bit longer, and you want to harvest these seeds on a dry day when these seeds have really dried out. And I'm just going to sprinkle, they're very tiny, I'm going to sprinkle them right back around here, and they're going to grow just fine in little nooks and crannies in here. As you can see, they grow wonderfully together in a tight little spot, so that you don't need a super large container. I don't know how many plants are in there, but they grow beautifully together. They get along really well, unlike most people today. But anyways, that's for a different topic. But these little ones in here are green. They're not ready yet. You want them to go to flower. You want the flowers to dry out, and they will become brown or black. And then that way you can harvest your seeds and then just sow them right back into your containers or get brand new containers. I do have some other containers here I might use. You do not need a super big container or anything like that. You can if you want to, but you don't need it. The thing is, when picking these leaves, I come out here and I harvest these very often. I just go down about an inch or so away from where the bottom of the plant would be, and I just snip it like that. I just break it off with my finger. You don't want to go too low, but really there's never been a problem with me and my plants. I will leave the link below for the seeds that I got from Amazon if they're still available, and I will also leave the link below for the last video where I showed how I grow it and my tips for growing it. I grew these through winter of last year, and it got very cold, down in the 30s. We had frost warnings and stuff like that, and these survived through the winter, they survived through the summer, they've survived through the fall and the spring, and I could go through all the seasons with you. I don't think we need a lesson on that today, but yes, they have survived. They did wonderful in the winter. Now we don't have snow here, we get very little frost. It's do get temperatures down in the 30s and sometimes in the high 20s in the nighttime. But they've survived, and they've been outside. Like, they've pulled through and they've done amazing. Some mealybugs, which was on a tree close by. That's also why I kind of moved that plant over there. I didn't want anything to get on this. Mealybugs, and they did start to attack these plants a little bit, and I sprayed it down with a solution, rubbing alcohol, neem oil, and water, and it worked perfectly, and these plants survived through that. And they're just hardy plants, and they're the most delicious herb ever. When you are spraying these plants with whether it's neem oil or whatever, you want to do that in the evening time when it's cool, when there's no sun on it. So spray them in evening time, and whenever I do spray them, I just leave them for several days. I don't pick any leaves or anything like that. I will come and I will water it every other day or so. If you are spraying them with the neem oil, you do want to make sure and do that in the evening time. And also, I also do buy cilantro from the stores. I do have some seeds that I want to plant, so coming this fall I may plant some cilantro when it's cooler out. How many times have I said in this video? Right, I do buy cilantro from the store, and I do use cilantro sometimes. So I don't pick these every single day. I pick it when I'm making curries or stews or beans or whatever. I do use it very often. I don't use it every single day. And I definitely do still use cilantro on other days as well. So I let them grow, and I let them look beautiful and fancy, and they're just so pretty, and they're the prettiest things ever. I do use cilantro to help balance things out. Let them grow, but the more you pick them, the more that they will produce more leaves as well. But I just did want to give you a heads up. I do also use cilantro, even though I just love them. I love these plants. So I hope that this was some help to you. If you have any more questions, leave them below. Again, I keep saying sorry for that. Forgive me for that. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.